Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Maybe you already know that Chinese people are very superstitious. So we got feng shui, we got lots of things about somebody's destiny. So in this video, I'm gonna show you one of the fundamental theory about all the superstitious thing. And you don't have to believe it, you don't have to like it, but it's still good to know, and maybe it make you look like knowledgeable, and at some point it could be inspiring. It couldn't apply to every circumstance, and it couldn't give you the answer of every question, but it's still funny to know it. And it will be quite common if you know that you realize that in Chinese culture is everywhere. This theory, we call it 五行, and in English is translated as 5 elements. We call it 金木水火土. 金木水火土. So the first one is 金 means metal, but sometimes it could be gold. The second one is 木 means wood. The third one is 水 means water. The fourth one is 火 means fire. The last one is 土 means earth. So based on this, it could relate to other things. For example, the planets. So the star of Jing is Venus, and the star of wood is Jupiter, and then the star of water is Mercury, the star of fire is Mars, and the star of the earth is not the earth, is Saturn. So the translation is quite interesting. For example, why the star of fire is Mars? Because Mars is about war, fight, argument, and between that we can see a lot of fire in there. Even you in the West and we are in the East, we see things differently, but the conclusion is quite close. And it could also represent the seasons, but there are 4 seasons and 5 elements, so let me explain it. So the first one is Jing. Jing represent the fall, the autumn, and you can understand that women, girls like winter because it's about winters. It's turn everything beautiful, become golden color. Spring is Mu, because in spring the trees will grow and everything turn into green. So the Mu is represent the spring. And then the winter is water because water is cold. And then the 火, the fire, is summer, of course, because it's hot. And then the last one too is kind of special because it means in the middle of 2 seasons. And then it could be about the color. The Jing is white, the Mu is green, and the water is black. You have noticed the water is black. And the fire is red, of course. And then the earth is yellow, and sometimes it could be the direction. If you know a little bit about feng shui, that is what they base on. So the earth, the 土, is in the middle, and in the feng shui usually it means the house and architecture, a palace. And then the east is Mu is about spring, when the sun rises up, when the tree grows better. And the east, Jing, is colder. The south is fire because the south is hot, and the north is water because it's cold. And then each direction has their own guardian animal. So the east is the green dragon, the qinglong, and the west is the white tiger, 白虎, and the south is the red bird. Actually, it's a phoenix. And then the north is a black turtle. We call it 玄武. So sometimes when you see a Chinese gangster guy full of tattoos, so maybe his left hand is green dragon and the right hand is a white tiger, is because of this. To move on to the next level of understanding, you have to know 2 Chinese words first. The first one is sheng and the second one is ke. In here, in this context, sheng means do good to, and ke means do harm to. Because we use these 2 words to describe the relationship between these 5 elements and how they keep the perfect balance. So you can see the chart here. So I begin with the water. 水生木. Water is do good to woods. It's very easy to understand it because the woods need water to grow better. And then 木生火. So wood is do good to fire. It's still easy to understand it because if you need more fire, you need to burn some woods. And then is 火生土. Fire is do good to earth because when you burn something and it will turn into ash, and this ash is good for the earth. It's easy to understand it. And then 土生金. Earth is good for gold because when you dig some metal, it's come from the earth. And the last one, 金生水, is kind of difficult, and some people say because the metal could melt into water, but I personally think maybe because the metal and the water always go well together. We use metal to dig a well to get more drinkable water, and normally in the kitchen we use the metal pot to boil some water to make it drinkable. So I think in this point maybe it means that the metal make the water useful. So let's move on to the 克 section. So the 水克火, the water is too harm to fire because it could make it extinguish. And then the 火克金, the fire is too harm to the metal because the fire can melt the metal. And then 金克木, because the metal, the machine could cut down the tree, so 金克木. Metal is do harm to the woods. And then 木克土, so because the trees could have a strong roots, and the roots will dig into the earth and make it uneasy to move. So in here could be do harm to the earth. And then the last one, 土克水, the earth is do harm to the water. For example, when the water is too much, sometimes you need to build a wall to stop the water, maybe a dam. So in here could represent like 土克水, earth, it could stop the water. And because this is kind of like a dynamic system, so you couldn't just be the 100% do good to or do harm to. For example, if the 水生木, the water is do good to the woods basically, but sometimes when the water is the ocean water and the woods just a little tree, so you couldn't use the ocean water to water a little tree. It will kill it. It won't be do good to. And sometimes the view is like when you see the ocean, the wide ocean, just a little piece of wood floating on the top of it, and it also couldn't be a good feeling. And then how we use this theory, how Chinese people use it, and I'm not an expert, but I can explain a little bit. For example, I was born in winter, so I belong to the water element. To keep the balance, I need more fire or wood elements to make me feel better. So maybe you can have some friends who was born in spring or summer. It will be pretty helpful to you, and you maybe could wear something red or green to help you the balance. And because you know the 水生木, so you also do good to your spring-born friend. In astrology speaking, as an Aquarius, maybe I'm always helping my Aries friend. And then you need to know that some Chinese people still believe that the name could be helpful. So when you see the name like this, means that maybe his parents has calculated a little bit before he was named. For example, when you see a girl, the name has this character, 3 waters together, it's called Miao. So you can guess maybe this girl need a lot of water. This is basically all I know about the 5 elements, the 五行. I don't know whether you like it, you hate it, or you believe it, you just think it ridiculous. And it's still quite funny and widely believe it in Chinese culture. You can see everywhere, every maybe building, every literature, every story, you can find the evidence that the Chinese people still believe in it. So hope you enjoy this video. Thank you for watching. See you next time.